All right, go ahead and call this meeting to order. Thank you all for your patience. We had a very thorough and informative, helpful conversation with Representative Connor about the school facilities plan that's been a hot topic. So, Miss Sheldon, will you call the roll for us?
Mayor Holly Berry.
Here.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Here.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey.
Here.
Commissioner Pete Phillips.
Here.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
Here.
For today's invocation, please join me in a moment of silence to reverently collect our thoughts, pray, and ready ourselves for this meeting and the duties to which we have been called. Thank you. Mr. Granum, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on our agenda, we have consideration of the minutes for approval or correction for the October 3rd work session. Any corrections? If not, do I have a motion to approve as written?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, the minutes for the October 3rd, 2023 commission meeting. Any corrections? If not, do I have a motion to approve as written?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Wilkinson. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. My mayor's report today, I wanted to invite everyone to please join us for the last Food Truck Friday of the season. This Friday, October 20th, will include Yummy Thai Food Truck for a welcome return. Congratulations to Red Bank artist Megan Ledbetter for recently receiving a grant from the Current Art Fund, a regional regranting program of the Warhol Foundation, to continue a photographic project begun with Trust for Public Land, creating images of the field, which is the former Hamilton County Paupers Cemetery, abandoned in the early 1900s and currently located on City of Red Bank property. Megan's goal is to create deep and meaningful connections between the field and our community. You can follow her project on Instagram at the_field_Megan, MEGAN_Ledbetter, LEDBETTER. So she will also be holding public input sessions prior to her final show, so keep an eye out for those announcements. Next, Red Bank Community Food Pantry will be this Thursday, October 19th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. They can always use volunteers. You can find a link to their sign-up genius at redbankfoodpantry.org. And next we have our report from Vice Mayor Dalton.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome, everyone. Our next Red Bank Signal Mountain Chamber meeting will be on Wednesday, October the 25th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. The cost is $15 at the door. Our guest speaker will be Tripp Stanford, Senior Content Marketing Manager with IFTTT, talking about practical ways to use AI and automations to streamline your tasks and business operations. We'll also have lunch provided by Clever Ale House, and you can register online at the council's Facebook page. Thank you to the Red Bank Fire Department and other local fire departments for assisting with containing a recent house fire on Linda Drive. The house was unfortunately a total loss, but the occupants are safe and were referred to the American Red Cross for assistance. I just ask that you please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Big shout out to all three of our Red Bank departments, Public Works, Fire, and Police, for partnering with Alpine Crest for their recent fall festival. The kids had a blast and loved seeing all of you in your cool vehicles, not to mention the awesome city swag and candy that you all gave out. I attended the Hamilton County Department of Education School Facilities Community Meeting at Red Bank Middle School on October 4th alongside Mayor Berry, Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey, and several other Red Bank neighbors and community members, and heard a lot of really great feedback. In case you missed it, you can view the recording on the Hamilton County Schools YouTube channel under their live videos. And on October the 11th, Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey and I presented our City Commission's resolution in response to the County Mayor's School Facilities proposal to the Hamilton County Commission. I want to thank Commissioner David Sharp for working with his colleagues to create that opportunity for us to advocate for our Red Bank neighbors and schools. And we also had a really robust conversation about this during our work session if you missed it, so you should definitely check out that stream. I'd like to welcome new business to Red Bank. Artistic Creations with Christina is located at 3813 Dayton Boulevard and provides semi-individual art instruction, all occasion group painting parties, and commissioned paintings. And you can learn more at their Facebook page. Be sure to check out Outdoor Chattanooga, which isn't Red Bank, but hold on, Fireside Concert Series at Greenway Farms on October 26th from 7 to 9 p.m., where Red Bank neighbor and Slim Pickens frontman, Randy Still, will be playing. It's a free and fun event, but be sure to dress warmly. And the city's still accepting applications for our nonprofit city advisory board. You can apply at redbanktn.gov. And Red Bank High School's annual Red Bank Community Fair will be held on October 26th from 5 to 7 p.m. This is a free community event open to everyone and will feature education and career opportunities, social and community support resources, local food trucks, and giveaways. And on a personal note, I would like to publicly wish my husband a happy 10th anniversary. Our anniversary is tomorrow, and so we'll be celebrating together, and hopefully we get several more decades. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And next we have our report from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey.
Yes, welcome Red Bank. As Vice Mayor Dalton mentioned, she and I were invited to the District 6, Commissioner David Sharp invited us to the Hamilton County Commission meeting last Wednesday at 9:30 in the morning. There was an engaging conversation with the commission expressing gratitude for delivering the resolutions. Thank you, Public Works, for mowing the yard right over there between City Hall and our courthouse. It looks pretty neat. Red Bank High School Lions have concluded their home football season with hopes to continue the playoffs in November. So stay tuned. We want to hear your voice. And missed your voice the last couple of
Vacation. I was
accepted.
told I can do that.
But you did it anyway. So many Red Bank residents have been saddened by the passing of Miss Jennifer Curley Johnson Williams last Monday. Fondly known as Curly, she was known as a stellar multi-sport athlete and earned a basketball scholarship to the University of Kentucky. Upon returning to Chattanooga, Curley raised a son and daughter, became a grandmother, established herself as an educator and administrator to the likes of GPS, Saudi Daisy, East Hamilton, and Sell Creek. And if you knew her, wow, what a cool lady. At 51, she passed. She was a community leader everywhere she went. Everyone she met considered her a friend. May we each strive to share that joy. Rest in peace, my friend. Another noted educator, Dolores Jett Farr, passed suddenly last Friday. I didn't have her for English, but you knew she was around. She passed away at 82. And you may recognize her house as the historical Palzo home on Browntown Road with the bright lights in the evening. Someone said you could land a plane there, and it's true. Both women inspired many of us through their lives as examples for each of us to live. Listen and Learn was last night and will take place in January. We're going to take November and December away so families can spend their time Thanksgiving and Christmas. Red Bank Business, Beauty and the Beast. I went by there this week. I call it the best. If you've not been in there, this is the great time to go for a costume. And Susan and Mary are just delightful. They serve Red Bank since 1990. Current hours are from 9 in the morning till 8. So we might make it up there if you need a costume tonight. And then on Saturdays from 10 to 8. They have a great line of makeup. I mean, she was going on and on how they serve different schools. The Lions Club will be selling nuts starting next week or November 1st, and you can do it online. October 28th, Saturday, Food City will have a Halloween trick or treat. The kids are going to be so high on candy that weekend, but the celebration will be from 12 to 2 at Food City. Also, Vice Mayor Dalton mentioned the food truck. There will also be a car show. Mr. McCain may mention that later in comments, but that will be this Friday. I think that's about it for me. So, thank you.
And now we have our report from Commissioner Phillips.
Right on. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you, Mayor. Welcome everybody. I did get to go to the VW show over this last Sunday, and there was some really. I was ashamed. There's some really cool vehicles out there, and that was at Dubs this past Sunday. Also, just a shout out to our fire department. I talked to a couple of Chattanooga fire departments who served with them on mutual aid, and the kudos that they gave us on the fire department, I just cannot not mention it. All right, and it was that. When they come into a scene, if they show up on mutual aid, Red Bank's already there fighting the fire. They're not sitting over there waiting on what to do. They have a commander on scene. They got their heads. They have a plan. They know where everybody's at. Everybody knows where everybody else is at. And when they show up, or they're just really just waiting on their calls, just covering their haul. So it was just a good shout out, and and way to save that foundation this week, boys. That was really good work there. No, I mean, but it really, you got there within 15 minutes, you had it under control, right? So, I mean, that's by the time they got the call to the time that they had the fire under control, so that's 15 minutes. So, thank you. And then the WWTA, they should be finishing up most of their work and cutting holes in the road. We've not had any sanitary overflows in quite some time, and they're also now under a consent decree. I guess everybody read that, where we have to pay fines as a county for these overflows. So, and then I can't believe I get to mention that we're having the Community Fair 1026 over at the thing, and nobody mentioned it. You did? Well, I wasn't paying attention. All right. And then we have our open house this November the 8th right here between the Fire Hall and City Hall. And I think that's our second annual.
Yes, sir.
Their second annual. And then the fellow commissioners, thank you all for the work you do. I mean, it's just showing up in the professional of the way their city is run and the way that you all are in. So kudos to you guys. So that concludes my report. Thank you guys.
Finally, we have our report from Commissioner Wilkinson.
Okay. Thanks everybody for coming out. I've got a pretty short report. I just wanted to thank the 34 volunteers who came out to the Red Bank Cemetery community cleanup, including Mr. Gedrin and Justin Hedrick, our facilities manager. And a very special thank you to the Red Bank High School students who turned out in force. There were students from the JROTC, Junior Lions Club, and Interact, who really, I mean, there were like 20 of them. It was awesome. So we got a lot of work done, cleaning out invasive plants, headstones, and just helping to preserve a historic spot in our city. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Very cool. Next, we have our report from our city manager, Mr. Granum.
Thank you, Mayor. I begin with an update on our staff. Last week, the Director of Administration, Tracy Perry, conducted 2 outstanding employee fairs, which were well attended and pushed out a host of information to our colleagues on our employee benefits. Joining Tracy was our insurance broker, Russ Blakely and Associates, with a focus on our medical, dental, vision, life, FSA, HRA, and EAP benefits. If you don't understand any of this, then you should sign up for next year's or make an appointment with Tracy. Also in attendance was Mission Square, who spoke to our 457 plan, CRS, who spoke to our retirement benefits, Aflac briefed the optional short-term disability coverage, and a new benefit, Text Care, was introduced by our new provider, One-to-One Health, offering concierge medicine via text. The information was free-flowing, the experts were and are accessible, and Tracy is always available for necessary ongoing follow-up. This is complex and impactful stuff, and we are grateful to Tracy for making this understandable and accessible to us and our dependents. Thank you very much, Tracy. Speaking of Tracy, she will be out for our next 2 commission meetings, and standing in for her as city recorder will be our assistant city recorder, Summer Sheldon. Thank you, Summer. Please take note of the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury budget certificate on display in front of Commissioner Phillips. For 2 consecutive years, the Office of the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury awarded the City of Red Bank the budget certificate credential. Red Bank is one of 87 cities in Tennessee to earn this distinguished recognition out of a total of 346 municipalities. This acknowledgement of Red Bank's management of public finances in a responsible manner places the city in the top quarter of all cities in the state and recognizes our commitment to operate the city with a sound financial plan. Local officials that adopt budgets meeting the following specific criteria are awarded this coveted certificate from the Comptroller of the Treasury. A city must adopt its budget on or before the fiscal year end and file it with the Comptroller in their specific format within 15 days of adoption. No issues of concern can be raised during the review of the budget, and the budget should also be based on reliable estimates, be structurally balanced, provide for cash liquidity, allow for adequate reserves, be monitored throughout the year, and amended as necessary. I will add that these are also the building blocks of a clean audit, which we typically receive as well. Earning the trust of the citizens we serve is our goal every day. Having our independent, respected agencies such as the Comptroller of the Treasury recognize our budget is profoundly validating and reassuring. All Red Bank staff are focused on making your local government work better every day. And nothing says that more emphatically than managing public finances in a responsible manner. Switching gears, I will be attending the Tennessee City Manager Association conference later this month, and also attending the Municipal Technical Advisory Service, or MTAS, sponsored pre-conference listening session to identify and develop strategic solutions to overcome the systemic social and racial inequalities within Tennessee's municipal organizations. I am very pleased with the real accomplishments Red Bank has made in this important area, but most would agree there is more still to be done. I am very pleased to participate in this pre-conference, not only to contribute, but also to listen and learn. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Granum. Next on our agenda, we have a presentation from Ms. Sheldon to let us know more about the Hamilton County 2023 Property Tax Relief Program.
So a few months ago, I talked a little bit about it. The 2023 information wasn't out yet. I have a video, so we'll go ahead and start with that, give you kind of an introduction. All right. So that's a lot of information all at once. I'll kind of go over some things that we can talk about.
Ms.
Those-
Sheldon, really quick,
yes.
could you just mention where the video link can be found? Because I don't, the volume apparently was not transferring over to the live stream. Just in
Okay.
case anybody wants to like go look it up tonight.
Absolutely. The link can be found at tncot.cc/tax relief.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay.
I'll try to get that link to either our agenda minutes or I might have to do it to our YouTube channel.
Okay, thank you.
So going over some of the things that the video had said, those who are qualified are the elderly, must be 65 on or before December 31st, 2023. Disabled also must be disabled on or before December 31st of 2023. Disabled veterans and widows of disabled veterans. Of course, with the elderly and with the disabled, there are like income restrictions,
Mhm.
like, do y'all have the 2023?
I have one at home. I don't have it with me.
Okay. And one thing that I found that not everyone may know, this is not
Oh, that's right.
this is not an exemption from property taxes. This is a reimbursement. Just for those that didn't know.
Thank you.
And
And there's a maximum amount, right, that they can qualify for and in reduction of the tax, okay, amount. Thank
sometimes
you.
only a partial amount will be reimbursed. It's not always, 100%.
Okay,
Tax bills have already been sent out.
okay.
I haven't received mine
You
yet,
haven't
but
received
I'm
yours
waiting.
yet?
I'm waiting on
Well, I
it. I'm
did.
waiting on it.
Sent out. You did
I
get
have
yours?
not gotten mine.
Okay.
I looked it up online.
Okay. We have, as Pete had mentioned, or I think there were several of you had mentioned, open house on November 8th. From 4 to 6, that will be it'll be in the parking lot between the police station and the fire department, where we will have the tax relief applications. And we will also have envelopes, that are pre-labeled to be mailed off. And they will be mailed off to the office on Bonnie Oaks, or the applicants can physically take it there. And that is Bonnie Oaks Industrial Park at 6125 Preservation Drive, Suite 101.
And Ms. Sheldon, you said,
Yes.
you're mentioning the application because as I had already discussed with you, it's paper only.
Paper
They
only,
do
yeah.
not take
It's not
online
online.
applications.
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes, thank you.
So if you're disabled or elderly, you gotta go in person. Wow.
Well, they'll catch up to us one day.
You can mail it in.
I guess so. Yeah, I'm just,
That's a
okay.
good thing.
I'm a little shocked about that,
We'll be helping those at open house and answering some more questions.
okay.
We also have 3 volunteers so far. Yay. Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton. Thank you. And we have Valerie and Kristen from the police department.
Awesome.
So we help them that day. Are there any questions?
Oh, I guess, did you want to mention the other things that we'll be assisting with at the, or that will be available for like potential
Yeah,
resources at the open
absolutely.
house? I mean, we do have a meeting the day before,
Mhm.
but just to give people a little bit more of a heads up.
I'll be sending out the flyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have it done.
Have it posted
Okay,
and all of that, but there will be help for people to register for SNAP benefits,
okay,
property tax relief, as I mentioned, registering to vote. Shred will be there.
to shred
To
documents.
shred documents.
Okay,
Yeah, for free.
for free, excellent.
All free. Is there anything-
Drug take back.
Drug take back.
Thank you. I don't think, I do have that on there. Just kidding.
Yeah, and Red Bank Police and Fire, Public Works.
White Oak Bicycle Co-op will be there. Behalf Native will be there.
Yes, please.
Yes. Still getting everything in order.
Parks and Recreation is also reaching out to us, I think, about, and any other local resources that you can find.
Great.
They'll either physically be here or he's asking to at least provide some sort of brochures or something we can have at our table.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Coming together.
Yes.
So is it the second annual? Because we didn't call it the first annual, or is it, or is this just the?
Just the annual.
It's an annual, why we gotta know? All right.
And as potentially leading to more, depending on how they start out.
And by the way, the commissioners, you all are invited to, I remember I was pretty new in the job
Right.
when we did the first one. And I was really worried about sunshine law type stuff. And so we scheduled you, if you remember.
Yeah.
Blocks of time where, each commissioner, you guys just show up,
Okay.
mix and mingle and have a cup of coffee and ask all kinds of mix this summer about tax relief. And
Get there early, get the best donuts, kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Come enjoy yourself and mix it up with staff and the community.
No ties in the face or anything.
No ties,
No
duct
ductings.
tags, No,
No
safe
duct
space,
tags.
safe space. So come on down to your fire station and your police station.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Summer.
you.
And there is the brochures in the back. There's a lot of information on these. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
So we have reached a temporary adjournment of our regular meeting in order to convene our beer board. So first we will need a roll call for our beer board hearing. Ms. Sheldon, if you're ready for that yet.
Mayor Holly Berry,
Here.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton,
Here.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey,
Here.
Commissioner Pete Phillips,
Still present.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
I'm here.
All right, we have new business today. First up is an application for a special event beer permit by Jeff Schwanke, DBA Clever Ale House, request to serve beer at Red Bank City Park on October 21st from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I believe the applicant is present. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Schwanke. Yes. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Oktoberfest?
Yeah, so just trying to have a fun community event. We've got the Meeting House and Be Caffeinated kind of sponsoring it along with us. So we'll have our food truck there. Meeting House will be doing some pastries and some other stuff. Be Caffeinated, coffee, and possibly bagels. I don't know for sure, but I think we'll have some other vendors there as well. Some stuff for kids, possibly the CFC inflatable soccer field,
Oh.
stuff like that. So
Pretty
that's
cool.
what we're looking to do.
Well, very exciting. Have you read and understood all of our ordinances?
Yes.
Excellent. Do I hear?
Oh, go ahead. Can I ask a question?
Of
Or
course.
should we?
Oh, go
Okay.
ahead.
You guys have been planning this for a while, right? I think a little while, or knew you were going to be holding it. I love it. We went last year. It was a lot of fun. And Meeting House had soups, and I'm hoping they're going to have soups again this year. You said some other things. So, but I do want to mention, I think, we do have like a timeline for permit requests, and
Correct.
you
Yeah.
guys are not necessarily within that timeline. But I did talk with staff. I think we do need to have some conversation potentially about changing what that timeline looks like. I just wanted to note that I think maybe it is a little bit burdensome, but also it is also to help staff like get everything checked and in order. So maybe like plan it a little earlier next year. That would be very
We're
helpful.
on it.
But yeah, very excited for it.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Yes, we do definitely want to get these things lined up as early as we can. Do I hear a motion to approve this application?
I will move to approve.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second them.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there's no more discussion, then we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oktoberfest is on. Motion carries. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Schwenke.
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll be out there.
And unfortunately, I will be at a wedding on Saturday, so I'm very bummed to be missing it. Next year, you guys should check with my schedule first. I'm kidding.
Be out of town too.
All right. We have another item for the beer board today. An application for an off-premise beer permit by Marvin Hewitt, DBA MAPCO, located at 314 Morrison Springs Road, Red Bank, Tennessee. Do we have the applicant present?
He's not here. I came in his place.
Oh, please come forward, sir. What's your name?
Cole Beals.
Beals?
Beals,
Mr.
yeah,
Beals?
B-E-A-L-S.
Thank you, Mr. Beals, for joining us. Have you read and understand all the ordinances, or have the applicant read and understand all the ordinances?
Yes.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to, we can go briefly over this. This is a reapplication for an existing location due to a new ownership. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, I wondered
Thank
what
you.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would be doing.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have.
I thought y'all was having a festival.
We're selling
I mean,
beer.
hopefully I'm in town for that.
I buy gas there, so.
Yes. And any other questions for the applicant or the board? Okay. In that case, do I hear a motion to approve this application?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion?
Well, as long as the council or is everything, does the applicant, everything's good?
I'm told it is.
Thank
Any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we will now adjourn our beer board hearing and reconvene our regular meeting and move on to unfinished business. First, we have a public hearing in consideration of ordinance number 23-1248, an ordinance of the city of Red Bank, Tennessee, amending the zoning ordinance and maps of the city to rezone property located at 210 Lowwater Road from L1 light manufacturing to RTZ townhome and zero lot line residential pursuant to certain restrictions. Now, we had a first reading and a vote at our previous October meeting on this item, and today is the public hearing. So, Mr. Granum, would you like to go over the rules briefly for the public hearing?
Thank you, Mayor. This public hearing, citizen comments are requested to be 2 minutes or less, and the city recorder will operate the timer visible on the dais. All comments should be addressed to the board as a whole and not to a particular commissioner, the city staff, or the audience. At this time, citizens are invited to the podium to comment. Please begin by stating your name and address.
Do we have an applicant present? Yeah. Would you like to add anything, sir?
Sure.
Mr. Pickett, is that correct?
Yes.
It's good to see you again, sir.
Yeah, good to see you guys. So 210 Little Waters, a piece of property I've owned for about a year and a half, zoned L1 right now, and just looking to rezone that to RTZ to build 4 homes there on Little Water, coming off of Little Water Road. So that's basically what the application is for. It's got RTZ property to the right of it. It's got RTZ property to the left of it. So it's, and it meets all the requirements of the city ordinances for RTZ property.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Pickett. And Deputy Director Johnson, my understanding is that this property comes with staff and Planning Commission recommendation for the rezoning.
Correct. As we talked at the first reading, this rezoning, again, as the applicant articulated it very well, it is currently zoned L1, which actually creates a spot zoning on your maps if you looked at it. But as he is proposing to develop that for single family, restricting it down to low water access, the Planning Commission did forward a recommendation to you with a couple of conditions put on it. City staff has recommended that some of those exclusions to be removed, which would allow for multifamily as the RTZ zoning allows. And it also removes the attachment of an Exhibit B. This just opens up the opportunity for development to occur that complies with that RTZ zoning as it reads. 2 conditions that did come from the Planning Commission that staff is recommending also stay in play, which is compliance with ordinance 23-1240, which is your steep slope stabilization ordinance. in addition to the restriction that access off of Linda Circle be restricted.
Excellent. And the changes that were made to the previous ordinance at the last meeting are reflected in the ordinance we have before us today.
Correct. So the board did provide you what we call a red line document to show you those changes. So if you move forward with that approval, it'll be cleaned up and ready for publication.
Perfect. Thank you, Deputy Director.
Thank you.
So for the public hearing, is there anyone who would like to speak on the rezoning of 210 Lowwater Road? Okay, if there are no public comments, then I will close the public hearing. And we will move on to consideration of ordinance number 23-1248. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion? We're looking forward to some underdeveloped parcels getting more utilization and some more housing coming to our city.
Well, the only thing is, why was it zoned LT, light manufacturing?
I'm sorry.
Why, that looked like pretty spot zoning in itself was on light manufacturing thing, right? So,
That has some historical references.
Okay.
I think it was in regards to a potential for a billboard, which was only allowed in an L1 at that time.
I'd rather see houses than a billboard.
I think everyone here agrees.
Now,
I think the owner would agree with
am I wrong with the numbers here? Because on the agenda, it's 1248, and on the individual paper, it says 1249.
Probably because it got pulled after I had signed the number, I had to pull the number back off of it, and I guess it's on the ordinance.
Well, is it 42? Excuse me.
Is 48 the correct?
It is 1248. Or just leave it. Well, it could make a difference.
I'm not cautious.
Okay, it's one.
We've got 1248.
I think it's
Um,
4-9.
on the agenda.
49 is on the actual document. 48 is on the agenda.
It's also on the map as 49.
Mr. Stolz, do we need to make any kind of correction at the time, or will it be okay to reflect it in the minutes?
We'll just reflect it in the minutes as an administrative adjustment.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mr. Stolz. All right, any further comments from residents? All right, if there are no more comments, then Ms. Sheldon, will you please call the vote for us?
Mayor Holiday,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey.
Yes.
Commissioner Pete Phillips.
Yep.
Commissioner Chase Wilkinson.
Yes.
All right, motion carries on second and final reading. Congratulations, Mr. Pickett. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, next unfinished business, we have ordinance number 23-1250, an ordinance of the city of Red Bank, Tennessee to repeal ordinance number 15-1036, the Red Bank Personnel Policies Ordinance, codified at Appendix A to the Red Bank City Code, together with all amendments thereto, and adopting a new employee handbook ordinance codified at Appendix A to the Red Bank City Code, second and final reading. Ms. Perry, we had some discussion at the last meeting. All those changes have been reflected in the new handbook.
99.9% sure I got them all.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Perry.
That's where it all the same.
We have our English major nodding from the dais, so.
Now, the formatting is.
I just compared it to the notes that I had asked you about, and everything. You had made notes or updated everything, so thank you for that.
Perfect. So do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things as professionalism. I mean, the handbook is not the issue. The having them write a handbook is the issue. That's where the professionalism comes in once again, and they're taking care of business the right way. Because now you have a process to follow. And kudos to Tracy, that's a heavy lift. That's a big, heavy lift. And all the departments, I think they all participated in this, so You know, let's give them a big shout out and the leadership and our counselor for reviewing all of it, making sure we're not stepping in it.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
So thank you all.
What time?
No,
Well,
yeah.
Congratulations and well done to all of our staff.
Yeah.
This is one of those behind the scenes things that is not very sexy and it's a lot of work, but not something real showy and flashy that the public is going to see on the front end. So we appreciate you guys putting in the unsung work. We'll sing it for today.
Necessary.
Yes.
You know, it's fundamental stuff, and you know.
Absolutely.
So
All right. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there's no more discussion, then Ms. Sheldon, will you call the vote for us?
Mayor Holly Berry,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner Pete Phillips,
yes,
Commissioner Andrew Wilkinson.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to say 99.9%.
99.9% yes. Rounding up to a yes. Motion carries on second and final reading. We are excited to have a shiny new handbook for the city. Moving on to new business, we have resolution number 23-1625, a resolution to amend the existing agreement 200269 between the city of Red Bank, Tennessee and the Tennessee Department of Transportation in the amount of $72,500 for the increased construction cost of project number 130774.00. Director Tate.
Thank you, Mayor. If you remember back in May, we did something that probably gives you a sense of deja vu. We did the same thing for the resurfacing project. What is this resolution is to cover increased cost of materials and construction for the ADA sidewalk upgrades from Newberry South to Cedar Mountain Road. Originally, the original resolution allocating this money was from February of 2019, and it was included in a package of $1.2 million that also had two other projects in it. And the amount that was earmarked for the sidewalk upgrades then was $290,000, with the city paying 20% of that, or $58,000. Since then, cost increases have required us, in order for the project to move forward, to add an additional $72,500 to that from the city's funds, which will come out of State Street Aid, since this was not budgeted, and it is covered as with the original in State Street Aid for $72,500, which will bring the total for this project up to $362,500. And this should keep it moving forward. As slow as it is, it should keep it moving forward. And hopefully we won't have any more funding issues or burdens to bear.
Now, this is one of the items we were not able to get to on our work session agenda earlier. So does anybody have any questions for Director Tate?
Is there a timeline for the project?
That's a good question. The answer is no, apparently not.
Okay.
Nothing that I can give you. I have been talking with the consultant, and he's working to get this pushed forward. He's working on the design phase of it now to get it to TDOT for approval.
Okay.
Well, it seems like their delays are costing us money, if I may say. But you know, I don't know what we can do.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Every bit of summer next year.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Director Tate. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
Reluctantly.
We have a reluctant second from Commissioner Phillips. Any?
I feel like they kind of got us, you know, got us over the barrel. You know?
Once again, TDOT,
Yeah.
yes, causes some complications in the city. Any further discussion? If there is any comments from the residents present? If there's no further comments, then we can go ahead and call a vote. All in favor? Aye. Reluctant as they may be. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have resolution number 23-1624. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, amending Resolution 22-1513 and appointing one member to the City of Red Bank Festival Citizens Advisory Board. Deputy Director Johnson.
Thank you. I apologize on behalf of our park manager. He administers this board and he was under the weather, so he's not able to do this. But I do take advantage of the opportunity to introduce a citizen of Red Bank who has stepped up to volunteer her time to help make sure that our festival committee is just knocking it out of the park. Hillary Evans is here. You want to step up and say hello?
So I've got a little bit of cough right now.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Hillary Evans. I just moved back from Connecticut and I'm really excited to serve.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Evans.
Thank you for volunteering.
Yeah, we appreciate it. The Festival Advisory Committee is primo. They have a lot of fun.
And if all goes well this evening with her appointment, her on the job will be tomorrow. The
Oh.
meeting tomorrow evening.
Oh, jumping right in. All right. Well, thank you very much, Deputy Director. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion?
Just welcome and thank you for being willing to serve.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Any comments from the residents present? If there is not, then we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Welcome to the Festival Advisory Board. Yay. All right. Now is the time for citizen comments for items not on the agenda. Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time for citizen comments. Please observe these rules for citizen comments. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or less, and the city recorder will operate the timer visible on the dais. Please respect her direction and conclude any comments if time expires. All citizen comments should be addressed to the board as a whole and not to a particular commissioner, the city staff, or the audience. The commission is here to listen, not necessarily to respond or engage in back and forth, so please do not expect a reply during public comment. At this time, citizens are invited to the podium to comment. Please begin by stating your name and address.
My name is Michael McCain. My address is 4200 Tacoma Avenue. I have something that I would like to share with y'all. If you would pass those each direction for me.
Absolutely, thank you.
I have one for you as well. Yes, sir. And I have one for the police department, public works, and what I'm here about is I have tried to be in discussions with the police chief, no fault of his own. Every time I called, he was out of town and so forth. But I wanted to go ahead forward with this program. What you see before you is a program called Block Watch. Block Watch, what it is, it's a digital alert system. It does not take the place of Neighborhood Watch. What it does is it increases its abilities. This system works both on Apple software and on Android. It is free. As you can read there, it's free for each of the subscribers who receive, and they will receive a real-time alert on one primary area and a floating area. Now, this area covers 2 miles across or 1 mile in circumference. You set your alert. This is not a social network platform. It is strictly an alert program. And it will cover anything such as an accident, theft, fire, a concerning activity, assault, loud noise, obstruction, a person with a weapon, an alarm going off, a missing person, vandalism, and illegal parking. For example, in my neighborhood, I see an individual that I don't recognize, maybe trying to enter a house. I can take a picture of that individual and send an alert. Everybody that is on this system will receive that alert that is in that 1 mile radius. If another person sees that individual, they can confirm it. In other words, what that does is that jumps the priority of that alert. if the police department, most police departments that have communities participating in this program, the police departments also participate in the program. So they will be aware of this alert. Therefore, they can send one out to respond to that if need be. The police department and fire department, if they are participating, can also list any alerts on this program. And that way, the individuals in those areas will be aware of those alerts taking place. Each individual has the ability to do one of two things. That is to either create alert or watch an alert. The statistics show that neighborhood watch programs increase security for your area. And I'm running out of time here. You will see that there is a website that you can go to and 2 videos that you can go to. You can also go to your appropriate store and download the software for free. Thank you.
Thank you very
you.
much, Mr. McCain. Yes, thank you, Mr. McCain. Any other comments for items not on today's agenda? Okay, if there's no more comments, then
I do have a question.
Yes.
I have a couple of questions about committee members. How are the committee members chosen when there's, and I'm not talking about Hillary, but I am talking about Hillary's application, which she applies when I applied for the Jubilee Committee. Who looks at those and who chooses the members from the applicants?
Tracy, you want to take that? They all come into the city recorder's office.
Yeah, I gather them in whatever timeframe we set, like the nonprofit, is that what it is?
Okay.
I'll gather applications till October 31st, and then whichever staff member is championing that particular board, I'll give them the applications, and then they'll do whatever they do.
Okay, so it's through staff of a
Yes,
particular
yes,
department. Okay.
And then ultimately, what precedes that is the commission authorizing us to stand up the committee. We have,
Yes.
there's an ordinance that allows us to create committees. It's a generic committee. And then we come back for a resolution to create a specific committee, such as festival or nonprofit advisory.
Art, cemetery, yeah,
Yes,
we've
ma'am.
got numerous ones.
And then there's a call window that's part of that resolution. And then the committee is staffed up. And sometimes in the resolution that creates the committee, there's staggered terms or an expiration date of the committee.
Mhm.
But oftentimes what happens is there's vacancy, and that's what happened here. And so it's kind of an out of cycle.
Yeah, because,
Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead. No, you go
Well, I
ahead.
was gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for every citizen advisory board we've established so far, except for one, we have received less than the maximum amount of applicants. So in the past, all of the applicants that applied became members of the committee. Except for, there was one where we received more than the 10
Parks and Rec, I
applications.
think.
Yeah,
And then that particular staff member mapped each of the applicants to make sure they were dispersed throughout the city,
okay.
and then compared what they could bring to the committee. Shows that way.
Okay.
Is there a mechanism that could limit the number of committees that one person can serve?
Currently, there is not. We have not really encountered that to be a problem, but we're kind of sensitive to that. We really want to maximize community involvement. So
Correct.
that is a unspoken goal, really.
Because I didn't want to leave anybody out when there's someone that's serving on one or two, well, not one, but 2 or 3 committees
Right.
when others have applied and
We
not
haven't
been.
had that situation yet.
Yeah.
That would have to be something we would take into consideration.
Like, for
Okay.
instance, Mr. Miller stepped down from the festival committee because he
Right.
wanted to be on the art committee. So that left a vacancy there.
Correct. Well, there's probably 2 or 3 on the festival committee
Yeah, I
that
think
were
so.
lacking
Mhm.
with moves and
Yeah.
chosen not to serve anymore. But there are some folks that are on 2 or 3 of the committees.
Right,
and I
yeah,
just-
I'm not saying, I know that's existing, but we haven't had anybody that would have said, sorry, it's full, because this one person's on 5 committees.
Yeah,
right.
We haven't had
Yeah.
that situation yet. That's
Okay.
just something we would have to handle if it comes up.
Okay, all right, one more question. With the upcoming nonprofit committee, might we suggest if there's an applicant affiliated with a nonprofit, because we're going to be dealing with money doled out too, with the ARP monies going out. They serve as a non-voting member, or if there's even guidelines for this nonprofit committee, or invite a member of an existing nonprofit to serve as a consultant, like the Siskin involvement. That's a non-voting, but contributing to the disability segment of the Parks and Rec.
My understanding would be that they would recuse themselves from any votes that might
Okay.
apply to their own nonprofit. Mr. Stolz is
They would
that.
have to.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's,
And we do have several of what you're speaking of on these. I know of two that we've had just people on there just consulting.
and I applaud them for wanting to, with their experience of being on there. It's just a little conflict of possible interest
They
that
wouldn't
would,
have voting rights.
good, okay,
Just
that's-
for consultation,
cool.
or
deal.
advisory, advising the advisory board.
Yes, yeah. Well, is there any contribution like the Siskin group, Siskin company that's contributing to the Parks and Rec? That would be a consulting,
I don't, no, it's
No.
all voluntary.
Okay.
And those consultants do not take the designated spots for Red Bank citizens.
okay,
And they ultimately just make recommendations anyway. They don't have a vote that it goes through without passing through the five of us. So.
All right. Any other comments for any items not on the agenda? Okay, if there are no more comments, then do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I will.
I have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
thank you.